I think we're live.
Do I have to click on anything? I don't see. You're
Here.
doing all the work.
What's that?
You're doing all the work. I don't see anything for me to do.
Oh yeah. Now so go up to comments. Do you see it on the other?
Yes, I see comments.
Hello everyone. It's so nice to see you.
Hi everybody. Hi.
Woo. I gotta get my
Hello.
I love my little music jingle. Okay, so pause. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And we have lots to talk about. You know, one thing for sure is change always happens. One thing for sure. And so we Lalit and I started out with commentary about numbers and this, and then last couple times I think we were doing private readings and what the stars mean to us personally. But there are some pretty big things that have happened in the news. And now I do have some of the people, I'm looking at the all the comments, and I am starring those that have their date of birth. Hi, Linda. I'm going to star you. I don't know if we're going to be getting to this. I can always sign on another time to do this. And hello, Karina. I wanted to ask you, you had said, this is interesting. Hello, Karina from, was it Australia? Yes. So you said it's a 2, 3, 4 kind of day, and it's the 2nd of March in Australia. So I didn't know where you got the 4. So just
well, she's coming to us from Tomorrowland.
Yeah, right. She's from the future. She's from the future. So another thing I'd like to know is if Cynthia just said hello, Lalit. Thank you so much.
Hello, Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. I see you.
So yes, just the year. The year is an 8-year. Is it? Yeah, 4 plus 2. 4 plus 4 is 8. So that's where I couldn't get the year down. But you must you might be adding up a little different. I go 2 plus 2 plus 4 for the year. But I love the math. I love the numbers. Now we have something in special to talk about tonight, because in our news we've had challenging things and it's made me into a different person. I wasn't happy this week. In fact, I was kind of grumpy this week. And so I do have a question to ask Lalit, but I'm going to wait for that because she has some good news. And we need that. So I'm going to have Lalit take it away.
All righty. Well, everybody, I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about the astrological situation we're in today, generally speaking, and then we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of the important events that happened to us this week. And so we're not going to have the 15 minutes of discussing every day what all of the aspects are, just a real brief overview. So I'll get through that as fast as we can. And I just do want to mention briefly so that you'll be prepared for the week ahead. Today, March 1st, we're in the last 2 days of the 3rd quarter of our lunar cycle. And tomorrow, the moon enters Sagittarius. We're going to start feeling a little bit of hope, a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more positive, optimistic. And on March 3rd, we're entering the 4th and final quarter of the moon's phase. So this coming week, generally speaking, is not a time for starting any new important ventures or making any important decisions regarding money. Excuse me, let me get a little drink of water. It is a time for cleaning up loose ends, personal reflection, and closure regarding the past. Also on March 3rd, there's a very big, important, what we call in astrology a semi-square. That is an aspect between Jupiter, which is in Taurus, and Neptune in Pisces. Now, Jupiter, you know, is the most benefic planet, and Neptune is the spiritual planet. So this period, it's a long-term aspect that will affect us for a while, meaning that our spiritual development in this period is in the forefront. And it is a time that we're going to have more idealism. So in the next few days, you'll be more hopeful and idealistic, and having real inspiration. But you do need to focus your goals on your spiritual life, because you're going to feel scattered and a little disorganized. So get your ducks in a row, because this final quarter of the lunar cycle, you're going to start thinking about your plans for the next new moon, which is going to be occurring right after the moon. On March 9th, Mercury's going to enter Aries. So your mind is going to start to pick up. It's going to start, probably now you're feeling a little bit like really depressed, slow, blocked mentally, and just feeling stuck and trapped. And you're going to start feeling, your mind is going to start feeling more free, and you're going to be making some quicker decisions, and maybe feeling a little bit of restlessness too. And then the new moon occurs in Pisces. This is a big one. I don't want to talk about it today, because we can talk about it next Friday, and it's a really big one, but I want you to give some thought to your development, especially in spiritual lines, because all of these things that are happening to us are challenges and lessons for us in our life pattern. And so just think about it generally, do a lot of meditation, and we're going to talk about that next week, because tonight I really want to talk about a couple things that I said last week and how they came to fruition and what it means for us. Last week I'd held this up and I said, Saturn and the Sun and Mercury, you're going to feel the end of the week a little bit depressed, and you're going to have strong emotions and be tense, and there's going to be fireworks and the big at the end of the week. And I said there would be some bombshell news in the legal department. Well, that's what I want to talk about today, because we got that bombshell news, and even knowing about it and everything, we still probably all feel like you've been kicked in the gut. I know I've been feeling like I've been out for the count. I need to lie down. All these things also in Neptune, where if people who are empathic or sensitive are feeling like really low in spirit and tired, really tired. So if you've been feeling that way, that's perfectly normal for what we went through. And I'm here to give you some good news. So I'm going to talk to you about something that I consider to be very good news in the political arena and the future of, especially in the arena in America, where things are really heating up. I want to give you some news about the things that are going to be happening. About 3 weeks from now, we're going to have a big change. But to get to that, I do want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump, because we just have to just talk about it and the politics of things, so that we can clear the air and see where things are moving. Okay, because it's been a little disheartening and upsetting, and there's really light on the horizon. I want you to keep focused on the things I'm going to be getting to. It'll take me a little roundabout route to get there. So yesterday, what happened? We had 3 things. Mitch McConnell, sweetheart that he is, announced he's stepping down from leadership at the end of the year. He's not running again in 26. I don't think he may even be with us at that point, but he was single-handedly responsible for bringing the Supreme Court to where it is today, and that's part of the problem. And Merrick Garland didn't get his position in the Supreme Court that he was supposed to have with Obama. And now he's Attorney General, and he's been really cautious, and things have been going really slow. And we think, oh no, if only this or that. Listen, everything is working on the divine timeline. It really is. So this stay with me here. Stay with me, because we're all wanting people to be less cautious, a little more bloodthirsty and aggressive. We want to get those suckers. We feel bad of what happened on January 6th, and we want to see someone having to be accountable for that. But here's what's happening. Also, Illinois announced that Trump cannot be on the ballot yesterday. That's big. That's big, but it sort of got lost in the shuffle, because the big news, of course, was the Supreme Court decision that I'm not going to belabor, because I think you guys all know what's happening. If we zoom out to like 30,000 feet to see what's really going on, we all know that for years, for his whole life, Donald Trump has not been accountable. We were upset to see our Capitol, the symbol of our democracy, being destroyed, the Capitol Police being beat up, people defecating in the hallway and spreading it, on the walls and stuff. I mean, horrible. I mean, this is an insult to all of us as Americans. But you have to understand that none of that bothered Donald Trump, because he is not a normal person. He's very sick puppy. When Kevin McCarthy called him that day, he said, "My God, they're going to hang Mike Pence." And so Donald Trump calmly said, "Well, Kevin, maybe you just don't care about our country as much as those people do, the people who were destroying the Capitol." He has a black hole in the place where his heart should be, and he really doesn't care about anyone else. He's not bothered by what happened. So whereas we want him to be punished for that, he completely does not care, because it's not important to him. There are only two things that he cares about, and that is his all-consuming lifetime search for lust for gold or money in any form, which gives him status and power, and he wants to be worshipped. It's something deeply, deeply sick. He's a malignant narcissist and a sociopath. And for me, I always thought, I lived in Rome for a long time, and he reminded me of the Roman Emperor Caligula. The strange thing about Caligula's wife's name was just like Melania's name. That's just a weird thing. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's one of these weird coincidences. Anyway, the only thing that matters to him is that he wants to win this next election so he can make everything disappear. So he's playing the game of delaying things. But what is happening, the timeline for the election is causing all of those vile people who are following him. We're talking about people in power in the Republican Party who are pointing toward Putin, saying what a great guy Putin is, and saying all of these things like that are upsetting to the rest of us, are identifying themselves. And they have to get to the place where there's a point of no return, where they're all going to be seen in the same ship that Donald Trump is the captain of. And it's not enough for the captain to go down of the ship, because he didn't get there by himself. He had a lot of support of racist bigots and the people who are greedy for power, and they're not interested in the things that we're interested in, of the humanistic, progressive values to support, health care for everyone, universal health care, to not have just the 1% with all the money, but a better lifestyle for the people at all. We know that's what we're interested in. Trump is just an empty shell. It's frightening that there's nothing inside of him. And he really is like the Wizard of Oz, who, when they took down the curtain, he's just a powerless, weak man with no power. And I saw a little thumbnail for a David Hellman show. It said, "Oh, the emperor has no diapers," and it's something it's something like that. But it's something so terrific that it's not just Trump that's going to fall, but the entire Republican Party as it is now, with people just greedy for power, not caring if women are dying because of problems with birth control or all of these things that are happening in women's health and whatnot, it's not going to continue. But it has the purge that Pluto is bringing to us has to be complete. So they have to get a little more ripe. These Republicans, all rats, are going to fall into the trap. And there's going to be big legal consequences for a lot of people, not just Trump. So the thing is that Trump has the Achilles heel. And, you know, in Greek mythology, Achilles could be hit by any arrows and nothing would hurt him, like we're seeing in Trump. But there's one place where he was vulnerable, and Trump is vulnerable in only one place. He's greedy for his money and his image. Well, something big is happening on March the 25th. March the 25th is going to be the first of first of 4 eclipses, the eclipse cycle. So on March 25th, we have a very important lunar eclipse, and it will be followed by 3 other eclipses this season. And it's happening on March the 25th. There are 2 very big things happening on March 25th that you will say, oh, what a coincidence. On that day, which is in the sign of Libra, the sign of justice. Okay, so it is coming. That is the day his bills become due. He has to pay $450 plus a whole $100 million in interest, and he has to pay also the E. Jean Carroll money, $83 million, by the 25th of March. He does not have that money. He's already said so. He's going to have to come up with a bond, or they will start seizing his property. There's only one way he could get another delay for this, and that is if by March the 12th, he might file a personal bankruptcy. He'll still have to pay that money, so they will grab his assets, but they will put a 45-day stay on the process, so they won't start selling his property for 45 days if he goes into bankruptcy. But if he goes into personal bankruptcy, his image of the great businessman who has so much money is gone, and everything about him is based on that. And this is going to his Achilles heel. He cannot take that. He has there's nothing in his heart. If his money is gone, his soul is just, he's just going to dissolve. He's going to enter a real downward spiral in mental dementia that is going to be so accelerated. Like this is a nosedive he's going to enter. And he is not going to be able to escape from this. The best thing that can happen is he gets a 45-day stay on them starting to sell his properties. This will so ruin his he will have no self-esteem. He will be so discombobulated. He's never experienced anything like that. And the other thing that happens on March 25th, the same day that the bill comes due, is his first criminal trial starts. This is a very bad sign for his first criminal trial. And it all begins on that day. So that is the beginning of the downward spiral that we're going to witness Donald Trump and all his cronies crash and burn, because other people that were active in the Congress for the January 6th debacle are going to also be held accountable. And this is not ending like it's not ending, but the timing of it is divine timing. It's not on what we want. We want him to go into that courtroom with Jack on way before the election and have everything settled. And that's that. But it can't happen like that, because all the cronies have to kind of show their rears, and then they will all be rounded up in a giant trap. And the entire Republican Party of those people who are corrupt and greedy and interested only in their own aggrandizement and their own power will bite the dust. And it's not happening as we would like, but it's happening in the most effective way from a cosmic standpoint. So people, don't be impatient. I want you to think what E. Jean Carroll said when she was in the courtroom. If you heard her speak, she said, people said to her, were you scared to confront him in the courtroom? Because she hadn't seen him in person for like 30 years since the event. And they said, were you afraid? Because she had to get on the witness stand. Were you afraid to confront him? How did it feel? And she said, I was terrified. But when I looked at him, I saw that he was nothing. He was nothing. I looked at him and he was nothing. And that is what is really happening here. He's being reduced to the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz, where they threw water on her and she just dissolved away. It is going to eat him alive. He's going to be so devastated. His wealth will be all gone. He's in criminal trial. He doesn't have the health to withstand this. His mental state and his circulatory system is going to suffer so badly. But remember that this is not going on the time scale that we want, but it is going on the most effective time scale to do the best good for all. And so it is working out perfectly according to the plan. And don't be disheartened that we had this thing that looks like a setback. It's all part of the trap that's being laid. And you're going to see some major changes happening in him after the beginning of his criminal trial, and him having to announce to the whole world, I'm broke. I'm in personal bankruptcy. I have no money. No one will loan me money. And he has to tell people the truth. And they're going to start figuring out how to sell his properties. And he can't take that. And that is more painful to him than the suffering that we went through with his capital business and stuff. So don't despair.
I'm in despair because we've heard this. I appreciate it.
No, the power is in us. Well, it can't happen any sooner than that because there's too much cleanup to do.
So
but the power is in us. And please remember, he's only getting 60% of the Republican vote now. His image hasn't started to crumble yet. 60% of the Republican vote is 24% of the American people. That means that whereas he lost the first election in 2016 by 3,000 people, 2020 he lost by 7 million people. He lost the last election by. Did I say 3,000 people in 2016? It was 3 million. Anyway. But this election, he's going to lose by 15 million. He's going to lose by record. It's just going to be
I hope it's got to be a landslide.
It's going to be a landslide. He is going to be buried, and he might not even be alive that long to enjoy it, because
I don't want him to die without me seeing him in jail. I'm sorry. He's got to stay alive for that. But my question, and I need to ask this because I started thinking with all that stuff like that, like the Supreme Court. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Trump's new super PAC, I should call them. When that happened, when they took the, that one thing up, I thought, wait a minute, you talked last week, all the astrologers have been talking about this whammy that we're going to have. Why? My question was, why is it partisan? We're all under the same stars and moons and planets aligning in the very same way, but it's so partisan. It's such good luck for this crazy stuff. When you said it last week,
what's happening to them is not good. It appears that way now.
No, I literally know. My point is this. I literally thought last week when you said there was going to be fireworks like my shirt, you had that beautiful shirt on. I literally thought, oh, Jack Smith is going to hit a home run. That was going to be our fireworks. And it just got worse.
That's what we want. It's going to be bigger.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's an entire group of people who prospered this week when it's so down the middle. Anybody else out there have a clue to this? Am I the only one?
It's temporary. They are all going to bite the dust.
Well, it's good to hear because we've been hearing it for a long time.
This is a very ephemeral little tweak that they got. But wait till eclipse season starts and you're going to see some big changes happening. They're going to be exposed for the rats that they are. You know, there's so much misinformation out in the public. It's going to take a while for it to really hit home to the American public. And there will be 15% of the people that are just be in the cult and they have to be deprogrammed. They won't even get it. But it's going to it's taking a little bit longer than we want, but it is operating on the proper time scale for what needs to be done. It's a bigger cleanup than we would ever even imagine.
Well, I just want to draw your attention to my best friend, Karina Grace, who said, that's fascinating point, Deborah. And then we have, Dennis here saying, I can't wait when we all can celebrate. And then, of course, being Democrats we're going to feel guilty about that. Not this one.
No, we're not.
Dancing in the street, I'm going to tell you, because this is long-suffering stuff. And I've listened to astrologers and I've listened to all these people, and it just doesn't get better. And I got to tell you, all died, and then this Trump's new super PAC voted the way they did, and I'm spent. And I'm here to say we're going to be all right, but I'm doing that. And when I say that, it's faith. And I'm so happy to know you, Lalit, so you can come on and explain why it's not fair, where the stars treat some very well. It's the same forecast. It's the same forecast, but there's so few there's people who are very just benefits. So,
well, the word I'd use was a bombshell. Now, the fact is that the repercussions of what haven't had time to unfold fully. But it's kind of like you're saying that some people won the lottery and they're on this wonderful Caribbean cruise ship, but the hurricane is going to hit this ship and they're all going to sink. And we'll say, well, I'm glad I didn't win that cruise because it didn't end well. And it just seems like the astrology is now partisan, is what it feels like. Astrology is partisan because it's we've got all these, and Pluto's going to do this and crack everything up, and the new Earth and all of that stuff, but yet they win over and over again. They're so successful. But I'm going to rest tonight because you told me that the 12th, the 15th, 25th. The 25th is the eclipse, and that is the day that he has to pay up and he starts his criminal trial.
Oh gosh, I could do something on the eclipse. We could all do like little rituals. Yeah. I wonder if I can get a lock of his hair. That would be so fun out in the backyard.
I'll make little dolls. No. He is, it's going to be a spectacular crash and burn, folks. He's entering a tailspin out of which he cannot pull out. So
I've heard this before, and I'm really looking forward to having, because the new moon coming in, that's the give me some of that moon, right? That's where you bring things into yourself.
The beginning, yes. So next Sunday at 2 a.m. So we have a meeting on Friday that we can talk about building the future, and we'll be feeling a little bit better by then because this was a big blow for everybody. It was a bombshell.
Yeah.
Right. But don't despair, because Jack Smith is very smart, and he's got some things up his sleeve regarding the other people who were complicit on January 6th, because he knows things.
God, that one man, the one man.
But it's not one man.
One man. I know. I've got to remember that. I've got to remember there's a lot of people working really hard, but their bosses are coming down hard, right? So, but what should we look for this week? Just wait for 2 weeks?
Okay, well, no, in a couple of days, we're going to start getting little glints of hope and hopefulness. And March 10th, we've got the new moon in Pisces. And March 9th, the day before that, Mercury enters Aries. So our minds are going to be quicker. We're going to start solving problems. We say, why didn't I see that? And we're going to have some feelings of new beginning on the next new moon. And so it's going to be a very important one. I drew up a chart for it, but it's big. I mean, we don't want to spend it. It's a big discussion. So I want to really give it some, it's a turning point for us. And we want to talk about it at length. So put that on. So stay tuned.
So here's Coach Ellen. Trust, it's all unfolding with. I'm going to lean on Lalit and Coach Ellen and everyone here. I'm just going to lean on you for a little while, and just say, yeah, whatever they say is going to happen. It's going to happen. But I missed Mary here. So what happens to all the people who support him? They scare me. Yes, that's what she was talking about. More than he does. He will be dead for sure in 20 years. But yeah, what he's doing now in America is going to last. The legacy is going to last. That stink is going to last. But now Lalit is saying that it's all queuing up for the great.
It's going to be the destruction of the GOP as we know it. It's really big. So take that. And it's going to be a really good show.
I'm leaning on you and everyone else here that says, like Coach Ellen. Thank you for allowing me to.
With perfect timing. I love that Coach Ellen says I like that little anagram EWAP. Everything's working out perfectly. You must realize it's not working out to what we might prefer now, because we are looking at it from a very limited perspective. We don't see the whole picture, and all of the history will look back on this and say, wow, you did it. And so everybody needs to try to stay positive in your energy and do things that make yourself feel happy. Get extra rest. Do just something that'll make you feel better. Go treat yourself to a massage. I like to pet my cats. That just really sends me into the zone. Whatever it is that go walk in nature. I have a mountain bike. I can go out and ride around, and the weather's kind of nice here. I hope that you're not suffering from any wildfires or bad things where you're living, but do what you can to center yourself, because your universe begins in your heart. And worry about yourself only, because you send out your vibrations. Those little pieces that you do will make a difference in the way things flow. So take care of yourself, be really centered, do your health, all your routines, meditation, and whatever you can do to make yourself feel more centered. Try to feel love in your heart. And this too shall pass. And we will be in a new world, but it doesn't come without, it's not going to be easy. No, nobody said it's going to be easy. And it's not happening as fast as we would like, but it is happening at the proper speed.
Awesome. So here's Karina. She would like to have a reading. So I appreciate everyone being flexible.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure.
Karina, I want to say, I was telling Deborah something I thought of earlier. I want to make a little folder with all of you people who come to our class. Once you submit your data, I'm going to make a little folder so your chart is in my computer, and I'll just click on your name and boom, there it appears. So we're getting this organized now, and I'm feeling a little scattered today because of all the things that have been going on. So I'll do my best, but there you are, Karina. I'm getting everybody stored in a file. So
You
that
were going to ask someone, we're going to ask if you, Rock, is it ROC?
ROC was in the name.
Rock. There's someone last week that wanted his chart done, and apparently the wrong email was sent or whatever. Now she.
I don't know. I just responded to the email he sent me, but I didn't see that he received it. So, and I don't see his name here. But if you want me to make a chart for you, that's you know, a little basic interpretation of and your chart, I will send that for you if you send me an email with all of your stuff, like I have Karina's here. Karina. There used to be a song when I was growing up.
Okay, let me do your numbers here. Yes, now Lalit is also creating a download that you can keep track of and see. You know, it was very interesting for me being so upset. And then I re-listened to last week's, and everything I was feeling is exactly what you said.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't soften the blow a whole lot, but you had your what do you call it when you're in the car? The airbags blew off, so maybe you know, and you say, okay, well, the airbags went off. All right, I'm still here, but that was shitty.
Shitty. So let's see. Oh yes, thank you. I've got, so in other words, I was just stuck on this banner. So if you could just write to her directly for the download and everything, she'll email it to you.
I will send you your chart, Karina. And right now, if I can, I'm trying to call it up. I'm trying to make it for you now so I can give you a little, if you had anything in particular you wanted to, if you just wanted me to look at it generally, I'll do that.
We got another Smarty Pants here.
Smarty Pants.
Yes, 25/7. Karina, you're the bright one. You win. 7 life paths are very spiritual, very tuned into spirit, but they also have this brain for the other stuff. They can do esoteric, and they can do math, medicine, engineering, all those real complex things. Oh my gosh, that's an amazing thing. You know who else is a 7 life path is Jamie Raskin.
Oh, don't you love him?
Yes, and then
adore him. I just think he's wonderful.
And then Putin.
With my program, Karina, I have so many things going on here, and it's not opening. I have a feeling that the icon is stuck behind my window here. If I get disconnected, I don't know what I'll do. Let me try it over here. Okay.
So, yeah, Putin is also a 7. And so this is how you read the number. It's how can these different people, one really great and one mercenary, have the same life path, and they're both in alignment with their life path number. I'm not saying Putin should not be, should be killing and everything, not at all. But it's that sharpness in their minds. So Jamie Raskin really, really, really believes in the Constitution, so much so that he can talk about it in his sleep. And Putin really, really believes in this vision, as weird as it is, this vision of what he wants the borders of the USSR back. And he's just going to go grab it. But anyway, that's your life path number. And I want to do your personal year as well. So I'm going to, your personal year to me is your month, your day, and then 8. So it's 3 plus 8. And it's an 11-2, and 11-2 is a little differently than just 2. But actually, I don't know when we're going to get just a 2 again. But nonetheless, it's when you collaborate, you're going to have to work a little bit harder at having people understand you. You know, you'll be saying whatever you're saying, right? And it makes total sense. You've said it yesterday, you'll say it again tomorrow, but then all of a sudden the people in front of you don't understand you. It's like, what? So that's the kind of thing. But that's just all it means, is that you need to listen more than you talk. Which is always very difficult for me. And I'm not a 7. Because when a 7 talks, they're usually really, really bright and interesting. Do you have anything yet? Or is the program?
My program is not opening. And honestly, it's never happened before.
Okay.
I don't know if I know if I reboot everything, it'll be okay, but I'm going to lose the connection. So I don't really know how to proceed.
Let's just talk about politics and stuff. So I'm just going to do a quick reading. I'll do tarot cards. So you're not walking away from something you've put a lot of time in. I've got the 8 of Cups reversed, saying, oh, you're sticking around, even though you've just about had it with someone. I do have the money being okay. This is going to, my frame of reference when I do this is a week. I usually do my time frames as 1 month, like inside 30 days. But because we come on every week, I'm just looking for the next 7 days. So also, I see that you're going to be needing to defend your position. I love these little messages because, and I don't want you to worry about anything, but what it is that someone's going to want you to do something you don't want to do. And you're going to find the words. The cool part about this combination is that you're going to already have the words, even though you're nervous. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, throw that out this week. I'm selling his sister. Just throw that out and just trust that when you do speak up, it's going to be perfect. And you're not going to make any enemies. But you also, if you speak up, you're not going to be suffering doing something you don't want to do. So we'll just bless you and leave you with that. Astrology vibrations.
I just sending Karina a chat saying, Karina, I need your email to send you. I'll send you your chart and a basic interpretation. So send me your email and I'll send it to you. I'll get to it Saturday or Sunday.
Send an email to astrology vibrations, plural, at gmail.com.
Yep.
Karina Grace. Thank
you. Anybody who wants me, what I'm sending out is just your chart, that it will look like this, and then an interpretation of each of the things in your chart. It's a little ebook. It's not like a reading, but it's a nice little ebook that has all the details. And if I see something in particular in your transits today, what you're going through right now, Karina, I'll address that. If you had a particular question, you could ask me. Anyway, send it to me and I'll do it Saturday or Sunday. Okay, there you go.
Loving kisses.
I'm looking at my other monitors, so if I see you there.
So Linda is here, and she says, my son Larry is 51. Date of birth is 5/9/72. He's a 33 life path. I love that my viewers really know their numbers. I love that. And then he puts the time, and personal year is 22. He's very kind, happily married, disabled. vet. God bless him. Can you tell me more about him? You know, what's interesting is that, oh, I just got a flashback about something. I don't know if it pertains. Now, a personal year is always reduced to a single digit. I do make note if it's a 22-4 or a 13-4, that makes difference. So whenever there's a master number anywhere in your reading, even if you were born on the 22nd or the 11th, that type of thing, there is, it's life asking you to filter the information through the upper octaves. The upper octaves means that those do unto others the way you want to be treated, and also there's subjective truth and objective, universal divine wisdom, right? So that's what it's asking you to do. But by the time you get to the age we are now, it's like you pretty much master. Now, I'm not saying everyone masters their numbers. I mean, it's a chore, but it looks like your son Larry has. I'm just going to throw some cards for him. Oh, he's finding some freedom.
Linda, if you want me to do his chart, shoot me an email. I would need his time of birth. If you have it, tell me if you don't have it, and then a place.
He does have the time. 2:03.
Is that PM or AM, and where?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Linda, mail that off. But it looks like Larry is he's doing okay as far he is finding his freedom inside a commitment. So that might be a commitment to you, or married, or there's a commitment that he is comfortable with, but a little broken heart. I have the three of swords. Now, when you see the 3 of swords or the 5 of cups or 5 of swords or anything, those conflicting cards, remember that it's only a 3. It's just a little bit of a disappointment that he's been through, it looks like. And he's just going to restructure a bit. He struggles with, well, we all do. I do that too. Who am I here with this information? I'm constantly saying that. And that's sort of what he's doing right now. So I don't know if you talk to him regularly, but he could probably use a little jibber jabber from you. Just a short one, short jibber jabber. So this is great. I'm looking down here. I've got that. Bless you. So hi, Cynthia. I believe you're 11. I'll just go ahead and throw some cards. You're my master number, girl. I'll throw some cards for you. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming. I love that. Ooh, I've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. Whoa, the Page of Pentacles reverse, and the Star card. This is quite nice. So what this means is that this week it looks like you're going to have some people coming through, either visiting, calling, interacting on some level. There is going to be one individual, a younger person, that might be having trouble financially or with acquisitions, or feeling like their life, I want to say it's a she, I don't know if it is, but that her life is not reflecting the value what she values herself to be. And we've all been there. But it looks like she's struggling with that. I do have the Star of Hope, which is great. I do have the 9 of Cups reversed. 9 of Cups upright is wishes fulfilled. So what I can say about that is that how we get into trouble is that we have unspoken expectations. If you can act without expectations, then you're doing really well. I try to say that to my clients who call me about breaking up with someone or something like that, or, when you start to withdraw. But nonetheless, the bottom line is this: if you're assuming something should happen in a certain way, or you would really like it to happen in a certain way, that attachment will keep the Nine of Cups reversed, the wish card reversed, because there's always going to be a little bit that's going to disappoint you. But you're in 11 life path. You are able to step back far enough to see the perfection in it. It's just really hard with the type of people that we're talking about. We're talking about really close people. So I hope that serves you well. I'll be curious next week how it goes.
I never wanted a tattoo before, but I think I need to tattoo that message to myself right there in my hand so I can see that, what you just said.
I know what you mean. You can put it on a plaque. Act without expectations. When you can press
It's
send
so
on
true. It's
yeah,
so true.
easier to.
That's the secret, and act and just do it without expecting anything. And that is the secret for manifesting too.
That's the secret. That's the secret. We've got Deb. Hello, Deb. You're so cute. And I am a 6 personal year. That's good. And I've done your numbers before, but everyone blends in. I don't have I'm such a one-trick pony. If I'm working on a project, that's it. I have to work on that project. Oh, six life path. You're a 24 6 life path and a 6 personal year. So the only thing I would caution you about this year is if you get too picky about, and I'm saying this with love, you know how you get kind of itchy and kind of mad when someone puts the vase over there, when you intentionally put it over here because it looks better and matches the this and the that. I'm just saying your attention to detail is off the chart, and sometimes that could people bug you. What can I say? People bug you. But I see that you're grounded and you are to the point. I do have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands means there's going to be new action, not just, aces are always good news, always. So, but this one is the action ace. So it means that you're going to have an impulse, because that's how life talks to us. That's how spirit talks to us. Going to have an impulse to walk or go to the gym with someone, or go walk, go to the beach. I don't know what, some sort of action, or it can be go shopping, any action, but you're also going to have the momentum. You're going to have a joy to it. So that's what you have to look forward to this week. Oh man, this is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is like life is really good in all aspects. It's all emotional, contentment. So that's a pretty good read. So I'm hoping those 6s are treating you well this year. And bless you, and leave it that. Good evening, all. Linda. Hello, Linda. Hey, that's my birthday. Well, no, it's not. The year is different. I'm a little older than you, but that is my birthday. So I already know you are a 7. So you are a 7 personal year, which just means that you're getting, if you wanted to study metaphysics and you think, oh, I think numbers are fun, I think maybe I want to know mediumship, top of the list during a 7 personal year, because that's the bounty, that's the beauty, those are the blessings of a 7. So if you wanted to do that, that'd be great. And 19. You're another 6. Isn't that amazing? The same numbers coming in. You're a 24/6 life path. And so you are the organized one. I'm not organized. I'm Miss Cluttery. My genius is a lot of places in my house. What you working on, Lalit? You're
I'm
frowning.
looking to see if I was just trying to see if anyone has sent me emails, because if you are asking me for a chart. Okay, I'll put it here. Does everyone have the my email?
Here, I'll put it on the banner again. I'll put
Astrology vibrations.
there it is. It'll be there. Astrology vibrations at gmail.com.
Yes, I was just looking now. I'm so sad that my program isn't starting. I was running it before I started up all these windows, and I just don't know what happened. It's never done that, but
always blame it on Mercury retrograde. It's retrograde on it.
Yeah, it's going to be retrograde at the end of the month. It's going to go.
It's a retrograde right now on Jupiter or something like that.
No retrograde right now.
So I love this question, Dennis, and I think you mentioned it before. So the one thing about, let me read this out loud for people who are just listening. My grandmother died March 5th, 1974. My dad died April 5th, 1993. My mom died June 5th, 2023. What's the significance of the five? The fives are amazing. It's all about freedom. Isn't that something? And separation from the body is the ultimate freedom, right? So that's the declaration of the five. America is a five. So that's probably why we have so many weirdos. Oh, I just offended every five on the planet, and I apologize. No, it's just that they like variety and everything. And I'm looking here, there is the veil is very thin on fives. I believe, this is only my opinion, because as the days move on, it cycles. We get different days have different numbers, but that is a letting go of self into freedom. But because it's your family, it's an understanding. It's one of those behind the scenes whispers before they all incarnated. Okay, see you on the 5th. See you back here on the 5th. That type of thing. I think it's a family thing, a family agreement. I hope that makes sense, and that I did not offend anybody. That could happen. You know me long enough, I will offend you. So will Mitch McConnell make it until June of this year? That's an interesting question.
Oh, June. I don't know. I don't have his chart. I'll look up his chart and we'll take a look. He's looking very bad, but I get a bad feeling about him, but I don't know about June. June is a little soon here.
Also, McConnell's term ends January 2027, but I looked it up and it was 2026, but nonetheless.
Yeah. It ends in the new person will be installed in January of 27.
The thing is that I think he's stepping down from speaker. He's still going to represent.
Right. He's stepping down from speaker at the end of this year.
Right. It's just his speakerhood.
But that's his life.
I don't know. His life is to make my life miserable. He sure has achieved it. I'm taking everything personally now.
I have a request from Deb and Sharon and Corina and Glinda.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
You got the place, and it's like a little ebook that's general information. If I can send you a few personal words, I will.
Oh, I thought I had something else. I didn't. Let me go catch up. Razors 1. I would love a personal 1, 2. My name is Ray. Hello, Ray. I'm going to give you your numbers first. Personal year is a 5. Now, we were just talking about 5s. Let me find out what your life path is. Oh, that's so cool. Was it last year awful for you, Ray? I mean, so you're a 28/1 life path. And then last year was a 4 personal year. And that's all about chopping wood, carrying water, tying up loose ends, and basically doing the stuff you're supposed to do. And nobody applauds, nobody notices. You don't get compensated more. I'm not saying that's, locked in for the whole year. Of course, we're going to get compensated. It's just just kind of the energy of that. That lasted till about September 2023. And then with the 5 coming in, that means life is it's like course correct for you and shift and change because you are a 1 life path. You're not afraid of change. You can make it on your own just fine. You don't need anyone around. I'm not saying people are going to be abandoning you at all. It's just that you're so steady on your own that, you'd like to have someone around, but you don't need it. And so the 5 is all about, you're going to have inspiration to travel, maybe learn another language, just have some fun. This looks good. Hope that helps. Oh, I love this. Divine Light, 82. This will be our last one. I realize we're at an hour. What's coming up for you? I'd love to tell you that. 6 personal year. I swear, I was working and I had one call after another, and all of them were like 11 life paths. And then I'd get a slew of 6s. Like tonight's it's 6 heavy. So that's that. Let's see. There's some competing things online about how to add up your numbers. And it's just, oh, wow, you're another smart one. Divine Light, 25/7. So you could, again, the people who are 7s, okay, and they want to go into metaphysics, they will have an easier time getting into the room of knowing. And then what they can do is pull back and teach what they know. In other words, you learn things as if you're going to teach things, and you're very, very good at it. So let me just pop over here. So I have this to tell you. Okay, we don't know each other very well, but here we are. So there is a little Judge Judy in you. I love you. Love you. But when the Queen of Swords is reversed in anybody's reading, and that tells me that there's a little bit of you're just tired of it, tired of everything, and you're quick to speak and maybe go a little tiny bit too far. So now this is in the future. This is your future, what's coming up for you. And let me tell you, the next few days in the week, you may be ruminating over something you just don't like. And that well-worn neural pathway, a lot like how I've been living in the last few days, where I was just kicking the dirt because the planets weren't in my favor. But it's going to be just do what Lalit said, do your meditation, calm down, eat something, drink something, well, don't, unless you're drinking, because I do have the devil here. I didn't read the devil as drinking, because that's obsessive compulsive. Because I have the air sign of Queen of Swords, I interpreted it that some of your one little devil you might have is to overthink things over and over and over again, and then you get mad, just like me. We're sisters that way. So I hope that helps you. It's just just understand that you'll have a tendency for that. And if you get crabby with someone and you know cross the line, just say sorry. I'll try better next time. Just don't try and beat yourself up over it. And of course you're justified to do that, but the reading here tonight tells me that it's a little not. You'll go a little too far. You'll have a tendency to go a little too far. But let's see next week. Come back next week and tell me what happened. Maybe now what's interesting is that when I do readings, this is your most probable future, just through the conversation can alter that future. So it's not set in stone. So now you're armed with, oh, this is interesting. So when I find myself getting fired up, you can say, oh, there it is. That's what Deb said was going to happen. And I'm going to walk the other way. So I like it that you speak your mind. I'm all for that. But this reading says that you might go a little too far and do some damage. God bless you. That's sort of what I do today. But I will look down here and see the Lalit. Lalit.
Yeah, Sharon, I was typing a message and I guess I sent it off prematurely. Rectification in astrology is a procedure that can be done, and I've had good results with it. But it takes some information from major life events that you've had, and you figure out what time frame would satisfy all of those conditions. Excuse me. Anyway, everybody that wants it, if you want a chart, send me an email with all of your information in one place, because I don't want to I'm trying to write down people's information. I'm afraid to make a mistake. So send me your date, time, place. If you don't know the time, say so. And I'll get back to you this weekend.
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And I like the way this turned out today. I got to complain to a large group of people. That's always satisfying. And we've got, thank you, Debra and Lalit, for a great show. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. And until next time, we're going to go out with a little bit of music.
Yeah. Next time, good info for the new moon. You need to have this info. So
give me some of that moon. See you later.